I'm going to go ahead and start today. What I'm going to be speaking about today, what I really want to speak about today, what I was had on the internet, was I was going to speak about natural law, and I'm going to universal law, and there's 12 laws that actually have a connection to universal law. So I'm going to start with those, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit so people can understand them and how they can put them to work in their lives and have them within their vibration within their life. So really what I wanted to start on the first one, the vibration here is the law of divine oneness. That's the first law of universal law, one of the 12, law of divine oneness. Everything is connected to everything else. What we think, say, do, believe, and all have a corresponding effect on others and the universe around us. And that law kind of affects with where we are at this time in our lives, with all the pandemic and all the stuff that's going on in our lives and around us on our own personal vibration. As what we think, what we're putting in motion, and what we think about situations in our lives. We have to realize that we are divine. We are that vibration, that divine within us. But we also have to remember it's what we think, say, do, and believe. And I always explain to people we need in our lives, at this point in our lives, to do research on different things. Research it out. Look at it. Research the situation out. And then make your decision on where you need to be. Because at this point, we need to research what's going on, especially even in your own life, what's going on around you. If we're going to sign paperwork, we're going to do things, we're going to put things in motion, we need to research the outcome a little bit, figure out if it works for us, if it's going to be what we need in our lives. We always have to do a little bit of research to make sure that that fits the vibration for us. But since we're all divine, we're all connected to the whole, and this is the law of divine oneness. It's what we think, what we put out in motion. And we'll get more into thinking and the different laws here in a minute. But it's what we think, what we put out in motion, and what we do. The law of vibration, that is a key law. Everything in the universe moves, vibrates, and travels in circular motions and patterns. The same principles of vibration in the physical world apply to our thoughts, feelings, desires, and wills in the etheric world. Each sound, things, and every thought has its own vibrational frequency, unique unto itself. When I teach mediumship, the law of vibration comes in effect within mediumship. Everything vibrates at a certain rate, certain spirits on the other side, certain things within the vibration. Your house, the place where your house is, where it sits on its property. Everything has its own vibrational rate, its vibrational connection. Sometimes homes feel really good to us, sometimes they don't. Situations in our life, sometimes they feel comfortable for us, and other times we just need to back away. The vibration of the thing, or what is here. We do sound healing. I know Christopher Thames does sound healing. He does sound healing. I do a lot with sound, and the Buddha Maitreya Pyramid with sound. So the question here is, sound has its own vibration, different notes, different vibrations connect to you in different ways. So it's what the principles of vibration. As a medium, you're going to raise your vibration to a higher level. You're going to raise it to a higher level. So by raising your vibration, you touch in with the spirit world. You connect to the etheric. You connect to a higher vibration. And when I talk about vibration, we vibrate at a certain rate. You do. Right now, you vibrate at this rate. But here, as you raise your vibration, that's through breath work. That's through doing things that you purely love. And you get into the moment. You get into the flow of the situation. You're changing the vibration of where you vibrate. You're raising it, or you can get into a situation in life where you lower your vibration. The law of action must be employed for us to manifest things on earth. We must engage in actions that support our thoughts, dreams, emotion, and words. Everybody on the earth plane want certain things in their lives. They want relationships. They want a good job. They want money. We want a lot of things to happen with our lives, to bring us to an understanding in our life, to bring us to this vibration within our lives. But we have to do action. And action doesn't have to be this major thing in your life. If you just thought affirmations every day, every single day you did your affirmations. You did affirmations every day. It changes the flow. It changes the vibration. It is a form of action. By watching, by understanding what's going on in your life, what's happening in your life, you move forward. That is considered an action. You're moving towards what you feel you need in your life, or at least trying to propel it into your life. But I always say to people, affirmations work by doing affirmations, by changing our mind thought, by clearing the board, by reading books, different things on how to change our thoughts and our vibration. Catherine Ponder did a lot of books on manifestation, prosperity for health, prosperity for wealth, prosperity for vibration. She did a lot of books in time. If you don't know who Catherine Ponder is, you should kind of look at her books, and she gives you tools to increase your net worth, to increase your well-being, to increase situations within your life. There's Hansel, which is the Master Key system. There's like 28 books to the thing. You can download it on the internet. You can download it and listen to what he says about thoughts, by putting things in motion, how to direct your thoughts, how to do your thoughts. And there's so many other things. I did for many years. I worked with Joe Vitale and his system of the whiteboard and Ho'oponopono, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. By saying that constantly in my life, doing the Ho'oponopono prayer. So the question is finding something that works for you, whether it be the Ponder, whether it be Hansel, whether it be Joe Vitale, whether it could be somebody else. Whatever it is, you propel that in motion so that you do the action. You do the action to clear. Most of us don't even know what we've stored in our vibration. It's like a house that we've moved out of. We've packed a lot of the boxes in the house, and some of the boxes don't have anything written on them. But we still have them stored in our vibration. And we've forgotten what was actually in the boxes. And by doing these affirmations, by clearing the vibration, by doing the whiteboard, you go in the process of you clear this, you erase it, you clear it, you open the boxes, you clear out what you don't need, and propelling yourself in your life what you do need. So by understanding that the law of action doesn't have to be this grandiose thing in your life, but just changing your mind thought, changing your vibration. If you believe that you're going to be poor, you're going to be poor. If you believe you're going to be healthy, you're going to be healthy. If you believe you're going to be sick, you're going to be sick. It's what you believe. It's the thoughts, like law of divine oneness. It's your thoughts, your corresponding thoughts of what you believe. Law of vibration, it comes down to thoughts, feelings, different things within your vibration. Your thoughts, there's a recurring pattern here. Law of action, thoughts again. It's where your thoughts are. So these first three laws actually vibrate on thoughts. Law of divine oneness, law of vibration, the law of action. So we have those first thoughts. Then we get down to the law of correspondence. This law is the principles of laws of physics. They explain that the physical world energy, light, vibration, motion have their corresponding principles in the etheric or universe, as above, so below. My grandmother used to say that to me all the time. As above, so below. As above, so below. So we know that what we do here affects the spirit world. The spirit world then definitely corresponds in that vibration to do things in our lives. So we are connected. We are vibrationally connected from this earth plane to the spirit world. As above, so below. The law of correspondence. So we believe that what we do here affects them. And you might think that your life doesn't affect the spirit world. You just, by you being here, by being alive, by you breathing, by you getting up this morning, by you moving around your home, you have affected the vibration in the spirit world. You've affected it. You have affected the vibration just by you being alive. By your thoughts, your vibrations are things that are going to affect the spirit world. By you doing what you do, how you interact with people, the vibration, it is this correction of as above, so below, which is going to affect you. So remember, just figure out what you say. I tell people, when you're going to say something to somebody, you're going to do something to somebody, count to 9. Count to 9. Wait over in your vibration. Figure out what you're going to say, and then say it. If you're just going to blurt something out, don't do it. Count to 9, count yourself, especially if you visualize you're going to say something negative or you're going to say something that might not be taken as well as it should be. Count to 9. Give it a chance to resonate before you actually send it out. I say that on the internet a lot when I see what people post, and they much just push a button and send it out. Oh my God. So I go, if you would have just thought 9 minutes and took another look at that, you probably wouldn't have sent it. You probably wouldn't have put that out into the ethers. But as above, so below, law of correspondence. The law of cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance or outside the universal laws. Every action, including thought, has a reaction or a consequence. We reap what we sow. When I was talking before about the law of vibration, the law of divine oneness, it's our thoughts that are propelling out in front of us. If we keep telling ourselves something in our lives, we're going to actually achieve it. Many years ago, I was living not too far from Casadega, and I would watch everybody, their car be in the driveway. And I think at that time I was working like 3 jobs, 2.5 jobs. One wasn't that long. I had to work it. But I was working all these jobs. And I'd go to work, and these cars would be in the driveway. I'd get home, the cars would still be there. And I would always tell Maria, I said, I don't know, we must be doing something wrong. Because these people, I don't even see their cars leave the driveway. And they're making a living, and they got a bigger house than we do. There's got to be something we're doing wrong. Then I started working with different thoughts, different vibrations. Clearing the blackboard, doing the Ho'oponopono, doing different things in my life to change my inner thoughts, to change them. And pretty soon, it wasn't that long, I started doing that. Probably about 5 months, I was down to 1 job. I was making enough money to pay all our bills. There was money in the bank. We had money. So the question is I just changed the thought. And eventually, I just went down to doing mediumship, and Spirit is taking very good care of me. But it was my thoughts that I could achieve it. And I mostly have got rid of the fear within not being able to get there. I have fear of accomplishing something in my life. If I'm too afraid to do it, then I'll never eventually do it. I'll be too afraid. So I have to allow myself to get rid of fear, get rid of the vibration of fear. And the cause and effect is the reaction, is what you put out into the spirit world. If you believe, I had a lady not too long ago says, well, my father died of a certain disease. I'm just going to die of that. I'm just going to go to spirit with that. I'm going to die of that. Well, she was just enforcing that on the spirit set of life. That's all spirit heard, that you're going to die of that. And I had a lady who was a medium, and she knew that this lady that she was taking care of was going to cause her to have a heart attack. She was going to die of a heart attack, and the spirit was going to do that. Sure enough, 6 months after she kept telling me that, 6 months she died in her doorframe. She had a heart attack and slid down the doorframe, and they found her sitting in her kitchen, died of a heart attack. She kept enforcing that vibration to the spirit world. And Spirit listens to you. They listen to what you tell them. You can't keep telling them something and don't expect some kind of reaction back from them. There's going to be a reaction. There's going to be an action from spirit into your vibration. So that cause and effect. So it's when you think, you sit down. And I've said before in this program and some of these classes, if you just took a moment every week and just quiet your mind for a moment and just talk out loud to your guides and just say, is there something I miss? Something I should be seeing? Something I should be putting in motion? Could you please show it to me? And allow your guides to show it to you. Because when I work with Lestern, my trance guide, he tells me all the time, he says, all you have to do is address us. Tell us what you would like us to go look for you. And we will do our best to go find it for you. We will do our best to bring it into your vibration. So this whole question of allowing and telling and reorganizing the vibration, but also to listen. That might be a form of law of action, to get quiet every once in a while and just listen and watch to see what you guys are trying to do for you. Sometimes we just miss the signs. We miss the vibration. We miss it. And once it passes you, it has to make this revert all the way back around you. It'll eventually end up back in front of you again. But the timing, the vibration of timing with spirit. The law of compensation, the law of cause and effect applied to the blessings and abundance that are provided for us. This visible effect of our deeds are given to us in gifts, money, inheritance, friendships, blessings. When I talk to people about compensation in your life, it's what you really expect that you absolutely need. What are you asking Spirit for? Sometimes we ask Spirit for things in our lives that we personally, on our physical plane, cannot really accept it. I love it when people say, well, Lewis, I wish I had $1 million. And then their second thought is, well, I don't know how I'll ever get that. I wish I had it, though, but I'd never know how I'm going to get that. That is what you take out of your vibration, because you're telling that voice within your head is saying, I don't deserve that. I'm not going to probably get that. I could ask for it, but I probably won't get that. That is the voice you need to quiet. And that's what Catherine Ponder helps you in trying to quiet that. Trying to talk to that voice, quiet that vibration, quiet that inner voice within you, and change it more from that's negative voice that you'll never amount to anything, you're never going to get that, it's never going to happen, you can do blah, 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 blah. You're quieting that so it becomes a more positive voice. Oh, yeah, we'll get that for you. That's going to be awesome. I can accept that. You want that positive voice going on in your vibration. So that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for that positive voice within your vibration. You want to quiet that one voice. But compensation can come from friends, where you live, prosperity, health. No money in the world can buy you really good health. Health is a commodity that when Spirit gives it to you, you live a very healthy life, a very compassionate, very healthy life. That is just as much abundance as if Spirit gave you money, propelled money in your vibration. If you're healthy, able to take care of yourself and do what you need to do for yourself, that's awesome. So we have to realize, what do we really want in compensation in our lives? What do we really need in compensation? That's the key. It's what do you really feel that you need in compensation? Want health? Want prosperity? Want a new place to live? What do you want? What are you looking for? And then allow them to move in that direction. The law of attraction. That's a key vibration. This is how we create things, events, people that come into our lives, our thoughts, feelings, words. Get back to the thoughts again. It's what we propel out into the spirit world, or we propel around us. We can either attract negative energy or attract positive energies within our lives. And we have to look around us. My mother used to say, most people that appear in front of you, Lou, that you might not like, are trying to show you something within yourself that you need to clear. So, sure, I've, just like everybody else, I've had people come in my life that I just don't radiate well with them. I don't. But they're there for a reason. They're there. That's why they've entered my vibration. They're there for a reason to show me something that I need to work on, something that I need to communicate with, or I need to do something with. That's why the person's there. That's why they're there in the vibration. That's why that law of attraction, attracting what we want in our lives. We go through these first few laws here. Most of it's about thoughts, feelings, understanding. We have to kind of put these laws in the comparable of attracting things in our lives, is understanding that we need to clean the shelves every once in a while. Reassess where we are and what we need at this point in our lives. What do we need? What are we expecting in this vibration within our lives? Then we have to put this vibration out into the spirit world and be clear enough with it that they understand exactly what we would like to have. I always tell my guys I would like this amount, this, or better. Now, they on the other side might have something much betterly planned for me than I could ever imagine. So I give them that option of, I think this would work, but I'll take better. I'll take better if that's something that's still in the plans and the spirit side of life. But I'm kind of looking for this. And allow your guys to go find it for you. Allow them to go propel themselves out into the spirit world and into the universe, into the divine oneness, and bring back to you what they feel is best for you. You always want it for your divine, your highest and best. That the divine would bring you what you deserve, what you are capable of accepting. Capable of accepting within your life. So you have to realize that. So you have to realize that you're capable of accepting within your life. So a lot of this is the law of attraction, law of cause and effect, the law of action, the law of vibration. They all have connections of thoughts and putting things in motion. The law of divine oneness means that you have to believe that you deserve it. You are divine. You are divine. You are here. You are a piece of the divine. You are connected. So believing that you are part of the divine, you deserve the best in your life. Divine. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. All people have within them the power to change the conditions of their life. You can change everything in your life. It doesn't matter what's happened before. It doesn't matter what's happened in your life. Today is the rest of your life. It's what you propel in your life today. What your understanding of these laws are. And how you start to transmute the energy within your vibration to transform the lower energies and the vibrations that go on in your life. What you're trying to do is to clear, to remove all obstructions within your body and to restore you to perfect health. It's one of our healing prayers. To remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. Remove all obstructions. That includes those boxes back there with nothing on them. That includes the things that we've been taught and told in our lives that we've stored within our memory. So we replay like a record within our vibration, constantly replaying the record. I have a thing with my brothers. We had a childhood in our life that was kind of tough. It was a little tough. It was a little tough. But every time I would call my brothers, we would go on this long discussion, this long major discussion of how bad it was. And constantly replaying the old music of how bad it was as we were children. But I never replayed that after I got older. I just broke the record. I just never wanted to go back there because it wasn't something I wanted to keep replaying within my life. And sometimes we replay these things constantly. We have that same record, the same tune playing within our lives, constantly playing, till we eventually go back and break the record. We eventually go back and take care of it. We break it. We undo it. We reassess it. We cut ourselves another record. That's a more positive record within our lives. And we start playing that record to bring things within our vibration. The law of relativity. Each person who receives as a series of problems tests for the purpose of strengthening the light within each of us. These tests are the challenge may take to our heart for solving the problems. This law teaches us to compare our problems to others' problem in a proper perspective. We have to realize, I've always said my life, even though my life was a little bit crazy when I was young, a little bit, somebody else, their life's so much worse than mine. Oh my God, it's so much worse. I could have had worse. I could have had a worse vibration than what I had. So I always looked at that. And I looked at the people that I was adjusting the cause towards. And these were people of who they were, how they perceived life, how they understood it, possibly how they were treated as children, actually expelled themselves as they got to be adults. So the vibration of this is somebody could have had a worse life, a worse incarnation as anyone else. I could blame people for my life, or I could just take charge of my life. That's the question within our lives of how the rules, the vibration of our lives, the lessons that propel themselves in our life, what are we learning from them? Not because we're having a lesson, not because Spirit is telling us a lesson. It is, what are we learning from the lesson? What next doorway is going to open? When I lose a job or something happened in my life or something happened, I was always looking for the next door because I knew if God shut one door, another door is going to open. Now, it might not be exactly what I thought the door should be, but another door would open. I just had to be perspective enough of understanding when the door arrived. If I was too busy looking behind me, I was never going to see the door ahead of me. So I always remember that. Door's going to shut. It's a lesson, something I had to learn at that time, but another door was going to open to take me to the next space, the next part of my vibration, the next part of my learning, the vibration. As spiritualists, we believe that there is the door to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. It's one of our principles. So we believe that you leave this earth plane, you still grow on the spirit side of life, even though your lessons were here. And who says that people did not learn their lessons? They didn't learn the situation, like they died too young. They died in a certain situation. People find their path in their life. Because remember, I said here last week, I think, we stand on a meridian line. We stand on these lines, these meridian lines that stretch out into the universe, out into eternity. And as long as we need to stand on that line to affect that energy of that ley line, we will be there. But when that lesson is done, that vibration is done, and if you don't move to another ley line, you're going to end up going back to the spirit world. Your lessons, your vibration here is done. This is not your home. This is a place where you go to learn, to raise your vibration, to connect to a higher sense of consciousness, and then you go back home. This is not your home. You go back home. So we're here to learn whatever we came here to learn and go back home. And sometimes it takes us a lifetime to figure out exactly why we're here. What are we? And maybe you're just here just to affect the energy around you. the energy of your own vibration, the energy of situations around you. Maybe you're just here to affect family and to help them on their journey, because you decided to be the catalyst to get people in your family, friends, people that you come in contact with, to a higher vibration, so that when they get back to the spiritual world, they do not re-enter the same level they did before. You have helped them move to a different level. You could be here just for that. You are just collateral, moving through the vibration. The law of polarity. Everything in a continuum and has an opposite. We suppress and transform undesirable thoughts by concentrating the opposite pole. Is a law of mental vibrations. Sometimes we just push all this stuff down, thinking that it's not in there. Oh my God, it's not in there. I've got rid of that. Until it raises its vibration, until it raises its energy field. Then we realize it's still there. It's just eating away at us. I always remember that I could just be mad at people in my life, or I could just forgive them. But forgiveness is not something I have to absolutely go up and forgive them. Forgiveness is a personal vibration within your life. Forgiving the vibration, knowing that you did everything you could possibly do. Forgiving you in case you said something, you did something, or somebody did something to you. Forgiving yourself. That comes with a big key. Forgiveness in the vibration is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. I always thought when I was a kid, I should have been a better son. I should have been a better vibration. I should have been better. I was doing my best, but I felt I should have been better. I would have probably not have been beaten as much. I would probably not have had these bad things happen to me if I would have just been a better kid. And then I realized that I was a good kid. I just had a few crazy people around me. But I was a good kid. And then we have to realize that sometimes we get in relationships, situations, and things in our lives that really, we were good. We did what we had to do, but it was just the position that we put ourselves into, or what we decided to be part of. We need to forgive ourselves for that point and then move on. Today is the rest of your life. Today. Not yesterday, not 10 years ago, not 20 years ago. Today is the rest of your life. So we have to really move that. So the first few lessons of the law of vibration is to law of vibration, law of action, law of correspondence, law of cause and effect, law of attraction. All these come down to thoughts, come down to what we put into the vibration is what we're going to get out. The law of rhythm. Everything vibrates and moves to a certain rhythm. The universe has its own pattern, has its own stages of development. Each cycle reflects the rhythm of God's universe. Masters know how to raise above negative parts of a cycle by never getting too excited or allowing negative things to penetrate their consciousness. Back in the day, I don't think people had what we have. We can watch a show, we can watch a movie, and get so much into the movie, it just makes us part of this whole vibration. We have things that happen in our lives that we have this whole vibration. And we could do that right now in our lives through the COVID and through all this stuff that's going on in our lives, and get so invested in this situation and get so far into it that we lose ourselves. We lose who we are. We're only following some kind of path that isn't really ours, but we believe that we needed to be there. Allow yourself to a time to adjust, to figure out what's going on in your life. We need to realize what matters to us, what connects to us. If you're no good to yourself, then you're no good to others. You're no good to other people because you have to fix you. I did a class many years ago on Metaphysician, Heal Thyself. And what I taught in that class was that we needed to heal ourselves. Whether we work for people, we run our own business, we do healing, we work with others, we must first heal us. I can't go do a healing on you if I'm completely sick and ill and I'm about ready to go. I'm not going to be placing my hands on your shoulder or healing you if I am not healthy enough to do it. So it's when we look at these vibrations within our lives, how are they affecting us? How is the idea of what we're doing in our lives affecting us? It's the rhythm. Everything vibrates. The law of vibration. Everything in the universe moves. Law of rhythm. Everything vibrates and moves to certain rhythms. I believe when I talk to Lucerne and I have these discussions with my trance guide, he has told me that there are roadways that lead out into infinity. There are meridian lines that run, that we don't see them, that they run through the universe and through infinity. And we enter this earth plane born on a ley line. We live on ley lines. We work on ley lines. We do different things in our lives, but we're always standing on or very close to a ley line. And a lot of times in our lives, we'll stay on that ley line throughout our lives. We might move somewhere else in the United States or in the world, but we're still on the same ley line. We're still there. It's still that ley line. So when we decide what we want in our lives, I'm not saying that your lives are preordained for you. They're not. There are only certain aspects of your life that you want to accomplish in your life are there. It's these things in your life that you go, God, I've had that before. Or you cross paths with somebody that changes your life. You were supposed to cross paths with him. You're supposed to. So it's when we realize that as we go through life, there are avenues within our lives that we have to move towards. They're part of our life lesson. They're part of our life agreement. They're part of our vibration. But how we arrive at those is a whole different story. It's how we perceive ourselves in the vibration that we are. We can be kicking and screaming and dragged there, or we can gently walk there. It's how we arrive in the vibration within our lives. I've had Spirit do so many things in my life that I fought them tooth and nail, and Spirit goes, you're going to go anywhere. You're going to go. It's sorry. It's happening. It's happening. I hate it when I hear that that voice behind me going, it's happening. And I mean, it's too close now. Now we're going to do it. It's going to happen now. It's going. And I've been told about it for months and probably a year before ahead of time. But I fought it. I fought the vibration until eventually Spirit goes, okay, it's happening. Let's go. And I end up going. So the question here is allow your guides to show you. Allow them to propel the vibration within your life. You have to realize that Spirit's got your best interest at heart. They really want to take you on a safe journey. They want to buckle you in and take you on a safe journey. But a lot of the times we don't get ourselves buckled in. Our shirt gets tangled in the passenger door. Car speeding down the highway, and we're trying to run alongside of it and trying to open the door to get ourselves unhooked. But we're running as fast as we can. But we have to tell ourselves, what do we want? What do we need? The last law of the universal laws are the law of gender. The law of gender manifests in all things as masculine and feminine. It is the law that governs what we know as creation. The law of gender manifests in the animal kingdom as sex. The law decreases everything in nature in both male and female. Both are required for life to exist. The yin and the yang, the vibration of everything needs that law to actually exist. If we didn't have children, we didn't have anybody, we would be a lot like one of the the Shakers and some of the other religion cults that believed that they weren't going to have children and the religion would last. Well, once everybody died, the religion died because there was nobody there to take over, because nobody was having children. So the world exists, the vibration exists, because you need the male and the female parts of the plant to do this. I was up in Tennessee, and I was planting this apple tree. And I said, oh, I got an apple tree. I planted it. And I heard a farmer come up and said, well, where's the male apple tree? I said, you need a male apple tree? He goes, yeah. So I had to go get another tree to plant next to the female so I could actually get fruit off that tree. So I thought it was kind of cool that I had to get two different types of apple trees to make sure that I got fruit on the tree, which I thought was kind of cool. But the question is we have to realize that everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason why it works. And if we allow ourselves to transpose this within the vibration, understanding that we are one with the universe. I always explain to people, you've done nothing wrong. Zero. Nothing. Let it go. There's nothing you can do back here to change the vibration that happened back here. I can't change my parents. I can't change things that happen in my life. I can't change them. They happen. They're part of my life. There's what happened. They probably brought me to where I am today. They made me who I am today. So now I have to move forward. I have to figure out where I need to go from here. What is my next direction? Where's my next movement within my life? My life could have been different. Your life could have been different. But who would you have been if your life would have been different? Who would you have been in this lifetime? So the reason you're where you are is because of circumstances within your life. And you have to realize when you ask your guides, is there something I missed, something I should have done, something I should have put in motion? Could you please show it to me? So in case we do miss the signs, the signals from the spirit world, they're still going to show it to us. They're still going to manifest it within our lives, at least give us that opportunity to make a decision if that's the path we'd like to take. Because our paths are always part of our lives. We're just that path. Whether we walk on stone paths, and when I teach mediumship, when I teach people to do mediumship, to connect to mediumship and meditation, I tell them when you see in your mind's eye, when you see spirit showing you something, it's what it means to you. Not what Gladys down the street thinks it means. What does it mean to you? What is Spirit trying to tell you of the direction? What is Spirit trying to convey to you at this moment? What does it mean to you? Now, you can always go to different things in your life and go, oh, I need to do that. And you will have a knowing. We in the spiritualist religion call it a knowing. Yes, other people call it that too, but a knowing. You just know that I've got to go do that. And it's when we fight it, when we hold ourselves back and we fight it, but we have this knowing that we need to do that. We just need to do that. It's when our life starts to move in the right direction. Because maybe you're in a part of your life right now that you are starting to learn how to do the law of vibration, to learn how to get your thoughts, your feelings, and different things under control. Something appears down the path to get you to the people, the events, the vibration that you need to have in your life to get you to the next step. And if you fight it, you're still going to get there. It's just that different little route the Spirit takes you on. That different little route the Spirit takes you on. Sometimes it's that route that's got the four-wheeler that goes tearing off the side of the mountain and the brake cable is cut. And you can't stop it. It's just going. And we have to take that ride. We have to take that vibrational ride and climb ourselves back up to the top of the path and go, oh my God, that was awful. It was just terrible. It's by putting these in motion, these connections in motion. By understanding, I gave you a few books like Catherine Ponder, Hansel, the Master Key System. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of books out by Joe Vitale on Ho'oponopono way of clearing energy. There's a whole bunch of stuff out in the market. And find something that kind of radiates to you, that clicks the vibration for you, that clicks the vibration to change the mind thoughts. That is the key, whether you're going to do anything else in this vibration, anything else in your auric field. What connects to you? What connects to the vibration? What connects to you? Because I want you to find your passion in life. An individual not too long ago said, well, I just want to go back to the spirit world. I just want to go. I'm tired here. I don't want to be here. And probably pretty close. He's come to a part of the journey that he hasn't looked up. He's just looking at the ground. He sees nothing different. Nothing's changing. It's only when we look up. There's a story in one of the old books. It was from the New Religion, the New Thought Religion. It's one of the books that I have. It's from the early 1900s. And it's about a young sailor and an older sailor on board ship. And the young sailor has to climb up to the very top of the mast, way above the ship, to get directions. And as that young man is looking at the boat down below him, like a little point on the water down below him, he starts to get dizzy. He starts to get sick. And the old sailor on board ship keeps yelling up to the young man, look aloft, look aloft. As when the young man looked up, the queasiness, the sickness, the thought of falling went away. He regained his balance. And a lot of times, I believe that when I read that story when I was a young teenager, I realized that I needed to look up, not looking at where my life is. It's where I am going. Sure, you can say, this is my life, Lou. This is it. This is it. This is my life. But it doesn't commute to that. I had a friend of mine not many years ago that was bedridden, crippled. Supposedly he didn't have a lot longer to live in his life. That's what the doctor told him. And he started reading books about changing his thoughts, changing his vibration, started connecting to him. I would read him different books too. I would talk to him and read these books to him. And he kept taking it in and working on this vibration. And eventually, in 6 months, he wasn't sick. He wasn't too sick. He got get up out of bed and he could walk. He could get around. They were doing therapy, getting him to walk. And all of a sudden, he started changing his vibration. Now he's traveling around the United States, traveling around the world, having a life that many people quite a few years ago said that's never going to happen. He's just going to be bedridden, he's going to die, and he's going to go back to the spirit world. Well, he didn't allow it to happen because he changed the vibration. You have to look at where you are in the vibration. Whether you do the universal laws, natural laws, whatever laws that you put effect, you can't transmute these laws. These laws are not changeable. It's not like you say, well, I don't like that one. I'm not going to do it. Well, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be in the vibration. It's still going to run its power. It's still going to be there. So if you don't want to deal with law of divine oneness, if you don't believe that you are worth anything and you're not divine and spirit doesn't love you anymore, then the thoughts of that vibration are going to bring you down to that connection in your life. Believe that you are a divine spirit, divine. Most of us are here, a lot of us are here on a journey. to improve our energy, to improve our knowledge, to improve situations within our lives, to get us to a point that we move higher in the spiritual world. Or maybe we're here just on this earth plane to affect others. We decided to be that scout out on the path, leading others to where they needed to be, helping them get themselves to where they need to be. I mean, that journey in this lifetime is that. But we're all on this journey to propel ourselves to be more congenial of our fellow man, to propel our fellow man, to uplift our fellow man, or to guide our fellow man or woman. But the question is to guide them, to take them to where they need to be. And we are our brother's keeper. We are our brother's keeper on this earth plane. Because it's the thoughts that we do. We've got so many people on this call today. If we all started just putting out positive thoughts, we would affect hundreds of people just by the thoughts that we propel out into the universe. We might not see a reap from those thoughts. I always think about family members, people that I've known that have gone to spirit. And every month, I'll sit for a moment and I'll recite their names out loud. Just to let them know. I'm going to send that energy into the spirit world to let them know that I'm still thinking about them. I still have that connection with them. Even though my grandmother has been gone off the earth plane for many, many years, I still announce her name. I still send that energy into the spirit world, allowing her to understand that I still think about her. I might not think about her every single day, but once a month I do. I call it my birthday call. And every month I pick a day and I do a call out into the spirit world, whether it's their birthday or not, doesn't matter. I do a call into the spirit world to send that energy into the spirit world, to allow them to know that there's still being things thought of. And I want to think that there's somewhere on a path, somewhere in some place, some dimension on the other side, and out of nowhere they hear my voice and they hear their name. That's my thought, my wish, knowing that I've affected them, because that energy, the voice, the energy, the vibration of my voice will affect them on their journey. Will maybe put a little bit more light in front of them. Put a few less steps in their journey to where they need to be. And I think about people in my life, around me, and I send out thoughts to them. Because I want everyone to get there. And if everybody is above me, that's going to be awesome. Because somebody above me is going to have a rope. And they're going to be able to pull me up with them. So I want people to find that. And when I teach these classes, I teach these vibrations, I want you to have the information. I want you to understand it. That we are one. The vibration, the understanding of talk, the understanding of connection. We're all connected, every one of us. When somebody gets killed, when somebody dies, when things happen, when we're losing 200,000 people right now, over 200,000 people, that is affecting us. We might not know all these people. We might not say, oh my God, I don't know all these people. I don't know all these people, but they're still affecting us. They're part of the whole. They're part of us. They're part of the vibration. So they're part of us. When we lose a family member, if we lose a dog, we lose a pet, it's part of us. It's part of our energy field. There's a grief going on. I heard the other night that we as individuals right now, we are in this thing in our lives. There's a grief going on. We can't do what we want to do. We can't go out. We can't do this. We can't do that. So we're suffering from grief. We have a grief going on in our lives because we've lost something. We've lost our freedom to go out and just be, because we feel responsible for our fellow people. We want to keep them healthy. We want to keep them of well-being. So it's that question of what we believe we need to do. Not judgmental on other people and what they do, but it's what we do on our own. It's what we perceive, but the energy we put out into the spirit world. And I always wanted, when I get back to the spirit world, that a bunch of people, when I exit the elevator, walk out into the spirit world, a bunch of people will go, "Lou's back. Thank you, Jesus. Lou's back." I don't want the door to open and I have a bunch of people staring at me with torches going, "There he is. There he is." No, see, I don't want that. I want them to welcome me into the spirit world. So the question here is, when I traveled and I worked with people that were dying, and I've probably seen well over 500 people that have passed to spirit over my lifetime so far. I've been sitting next to them or working with them or helping them, encouraging them on their journey. I always remember when I help people, I touch base with them and I'm standing on the other side or close to the other side with them and speaking to them. I always remember it's the thoughts that they have at the end of their lives. It's the thoughts that they believe in. Thoughts. Maybe they weren't good enough. They're probably not going to get into the spirit world. They're not going to get into heaven. Probably going to go to hell. All this stuff goes on in their lives. All this memories, all these thoughts, that they stop themselves from trying to move into the spirit world. And I speak to them, help them. Best story I have is I had an individual that was a Baptist minister. And when I touched base with him, I was standing with him next to this very large sea, crystal sea. It looked like crystal. And he looked at me, he said, "Jesus is coming." I said, "Really? I'd like to see Jesus. I really would." So I was standing there with him, and you could actually see the boat coming across the water. I said, "Oh, Jesus is coming. I better straighten up." And then the boat got ashore. It wasn't really Jesus. It was his brother. And he hugged his brother, and his brother said, "I've come to get you." And he asked, "Where's Jesus?" He said, "Jesus is everywhere." And the pastor smiled. He looked at me and he goes, "You've been so good to me, Lou. You've been so good to me. You should come with me." And he grabbed me. His energy from the spirit world grabbed me. And I could feel my body draining and heading off the spirit world. I told him, I said, "I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to go yet." But he got in that boat and he went back off across the crystal sea. But I remember what his brother said when he came ashore. He said, "Jesus is in everything. The Christ Spirit is within all of us. That we don't have to go see Christ. Christ dwells within us." I always remember that when I was doing this. I always remember that. That I always believed that. I always believed that I never had to go look for God. I didn't have to go look for someone to save me. I had it all in me, all around me. So when you believe you've done something wrong, listen to the natural laws, the universal laws. When you believe you've done something so bad, believe that there's things, situations are where they need to be. And they too will move to where Spirit wants them to be. So I hope this class today helped you to understand a little bit more about universal laws, about how they work. But take some time. Get your thoughts under control. Unpack some of the boxes. Do what I do every once in a while. Have a birthday day. Celebrate everybody in spirit. Mention their names. Knowing that somewhere out in the universe, somebody that you love is traveling, walking probably alone right now, walking down a path, and by you mentioning their name, your voice comes over the wind on the other side, and they hear their name being called by you. That's just wonderful. That's just awesome. I always get a feeling when I do that. So realize that you're special, you're divine, you are here for a purpose. You might not know what the purpose is, but the journey has just started. The journey is getting ready to begin. So take a stock around you at this point, figure out where the journey is going, pick the best path for you. Now, I want to thank you for listening today. Thank you for listening today. And I hope. Now, I want to thank you guys.